He told me my only option was to agree to what the local dealers said. I'm genuinely in need of help here. Dodge has basically told me, well, we sold you junk and you have to live with it.
It all had to be cut out and replaced. Now you've got to put a chisel in there and that's going to rip the metal out.
When welds, glues, and screws make Dodge say F you, this is Rip Roaring Garage. I'm Alex, and I was going to do a totally different episode, me redesigning the new 2024 Dodge Charger. However, somebody on Twitter let me know of a big problem going on. Now, we're a small channel here on Twitter. I am downright microscopic, so I really appreciate those of you that do follow me there, and I appreciate it even more when you let me know of a problem, particularly something where a customer is getting the runaround. In the past, I've covered this before about a black ghost owner. Never was really able to find a resolution or what happened or if the owner was at fault. However, here there is no doubt about it. This is not a car that has been modified. It is a brand new car that exhibited this defect from the moment the owner took delivery. And what's really sad, this car is a wide body Scat Pack Challenger, stick shift in Plum Crazy, and it may end up being a buyback. What are you going to replace it with? Because there's nothing out there can compare to a car like that. We're going to go over here to ChallengerTalk. Let's just dive right into it. So we have user B84GTX. He joined in 2022. Hello. I took delivery of my car, 2023 Scat Pack Wide Body Manual 6 in Plum Crazy Purple, from an out-of-state dealer a couple of days before Christmas of 2023. So clearly this is one of the last built cars. Now, for those of you that don't know, many of these cars were slated or given VINs. However, the final assembly took place in 2024, but the car was assembled in 23. We're talking like emblems, things that get added on after the car is at Brampton. The first drive made me hear a weird squeaking noise right when the car or the wheels started rolling. The noise would be gone when the car was in motion, or I couldn't hear it because of road noise. I called the warranty within 2 days, and a local dealer here took a look. The head mechanic said he was able to replicate the problem, and apparently this was a body issue and had to go to a body shop. This is a brand spanking new car. The body shop would not be able to take the car in before the first week of February. First week February came, and I was able to drop the car off on February 5th. After about a week and a half, my dealer has gotten back to me with this information. My question is, what the hell is this? Is this a manufacturing defect? If so, can I reach out to Dodge? Can we do something about it? Or should I go ahead and tell my dealer to proceed with this job? Hello, sir. We have the vehicle at the body shop and found the noise in the right rear is where body components meet and are typically bonded with body adhesive. Modern cars, rather than being welded or bolted on, body on frame kind of stuff, they use this structural adhesive. Very good, very strong if it's applied correctly and to clean surfaces, which in a manufacturing environment is more likely than your typical body shop. It is not a structural integrity point, but needs to be better secured. We don't want to cut out these components because it leads to body and structural parts replacement and would be shown as body repair on Carfax. We can weld around this junction point and secure everything without replacement. That's your first red flag. This is where we start our efforts to resolve the noise. So they're not even sure that this would resolve it. We were reaching out to make you aware and approve so we can proceed. Please let me know. And this is the guy, or the woman, Rose, service advisor. Obviously, people started chiming in. They didn't share any pics with you. If you're able to go to the body shop and have them show you in person. A lot of times on forums, people will complain. They're going to say all sorts of crazy things. Let's face it, customers can be finicky. They want the car to be perfect. And, oh my God, the gap here is 20,000s off. This is that stage. I'm going to read just a couple of things. Body adhesive is there for reasons for structural integrity. Without it, the car may fail to provide you with adequate protection in the event of an accident. I did cover a collision. A buddy of mine, he wishes to say anonymous, but I did do a video about him and his Daytona Charger where he was rear-ended. The car was destroyed, but it maintained the shell. They were okay, minor injuries. However, the car was, as you can imagine, toast. Now, the issue with these panels being bonded, if they're not held on to correctly, they will separate. So the last thing you want is the bumper and the engine block of the car behind you ending up in your back seat, or worse, in your front seat. This is again the same owner. Don't know what was my build date, but my VIN is, and he gives his VIN number right here. I'm not going to read it out. Let me see if I can go check on the car. Thanks a lot. Do you have any suggestions as to how to contact Dodge on this? Things start getting bad. Thanks a lot, everyone. Sounds like I should not agree to the welding. Yeah, at this point, I was like, don't touch the car. You got to get the manufacturer engineers at the minimum to look at it. I have opened up a case with Dodge on Friday, 4:25 p.m. They are supposed to call me back on Monday. The service dealer also has advised me to reach out to my selling dealer and see if they can trade assist with the help of my district manager. The service manager agreed that this is not the experience I should be going through after purchasing a $66,000 car. So I appreciate his advice. Now, I want to say, not bad, $66K in an era of markups and whatnot. I just sent over the details of the email and Dodge case number to my selling dealer. We'll keep you guys posted. At Dodge Cares. That's the name of their account on ChallengerTalk. Speculation it was damaged during shipping. That's not the case because that would be covered. You got a PDI, pre-delivery inspection, and it will be just said, no, we're not receiving this car, it's damaged. I worked at a dealership briefly, but I actually got to see a couple of instances where a whole engine was shipped in a crate. It was supposed to go in one of those Jeep four bangers. The crate was tipped over, the whole engine came out and smashed up valve cover, injectors and whatnot. And rather than say, well, we can fix it, but this is supposed to go as an engine warranty, they said, no, send it back. And that's usually what will happen with the car as well. I don't know how that would work when you don't build the car anymore, especially if you order it the way you want it. And it seems like this guy knew exactly what he wanted. Plum crazy wide body stick shift. So here's Dodge Cares responding. And, same day, February 22nd. Hello, please send us a PM with the last 8 characters of the VIN, which is already there, and mileage. Okay, fine, any mileage. So we can get this document and ensure a specialist is working with you. Yonori from Dodge Cares. At Dodge Cares, thank you. Private message sent, last 8 digits of the VIN. Next day, okay, so here's an update, and I am furious. Wait till you find out. Ooh. I called customer care on Friday, explained my situation, and they assigned my case number. They also told me that someone was going to be in touch with me within 1 business day. So I did get a call from a lady on Monday. She heard my story. Again, we've all been there where you tell the story like a freaking million times. And she said she was transferring the case over to Dodge Buyback department. She also mentioned that I will get a new case number and that someone will definitely call me by Wednesday. Update 223. I called Dodge customer service team on Thursday, 1:42 p.m. because I had not heard from the buyback department. Customer service told me to give them another day before doing anything. So I waited till Friday morning and called Dodge customer service 223-224-1157 a.m. The customer service person told me that the buyback department pushed my case back to regular customer service and that she could see a case manager was supposed to call me back later in the day. So I wait till 3:30 p.m. on Friday and still no call. In the meantime, my local dealership service manager calls me and says that they will put my car back together because it seems they are not going to do any work, at least for the time being, as Dodge had not reached out to me. So I call Dodge customer service 3:30 p.m. and the rep then tells me to wait while she reaches out to the case manager. She was finally able to get hold of the case manager. Case manager, Chris, told me that he got assigned to the case 5 hours ago and he had no idea about my case. He wanted me to explain my case again, so I fully explained what the options were given by my local dealer. 1, they will weld the pieces together and hopefully that does the job. 2, they disassemble the entire back part of my car and reassemble it back together. This is extensive bodywork and will go to my Carfax record, which severely depreciates my brand new car by thousands of dollars. After hearing that, my case manager, Chris, tells me that the buyback department does not reach out to customers directly and that they had rejected my request altogether. They suggested to follow up with what the dealership had told me. So I asked him, what kind of resolution was this? I purchased a brand new car and a brand new car is going to depreciate in value by doing the body work by thousands of dollars. How is that fair? He counters my argument that the car had already depreciated because I took it to a body shop. I told him that no work was done. Then I asked him how he would feel if the same situation happened with him. He told me, quote, it had nothing to do with him and that my only option was to agree to what the local dealers said, end quote. Basically, he told me to go screw myself. He also said, quote, if you don't pick up the car from the servicing dealer, then you will incur storage charges and your car can also be towed. These were his words verbatim. Not for once did he try to understand what is going on or what the dealer is even saying. I went down to the body shop to see my car to hear firsthand from the body shop manager. What he said is in the video below.
I'm not going to remember what you're going to say, so please explain it to me. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would have to happen is the quarter panel, the outer quarter panel where there's a wheelhouse there on the outside, and the inner would all have to be cut out and replaced. All this right in this area is glued and welded together. And what happens when it's just welded, you can drill out the welds and redo everything. But when you got the glue on there, now the glue's got it there too. And when you try to separate it, now you've got to put a chisel in there, and that's going to rip the metal out. So that's the reason why you have to replace all that.
Anything else for?
That's it.
What I did not record is what the mechanic and service manager told me off camera. Service manager told me, you need to fight this. This is a manufacturing defect. The robots missed this, and you wonder if other cars are also like this. I hope you can get the car replaced. Now, the reality is you're not getting it replaced. There aren't any. Maybe you get lucky and you get a similar wide body with the stick, maybe even Plum crazy, but I don't know what other options were on this car. I spent $66K on this car. That's the other thing. You're not getting it for $66K as a replacement. You will have to fight, just like my friend did when his Daytona was totaled. He had to fight to get another car within the insurance money. I spent $66K on this car. A big fat portion of that is owed to Stellantis themselves at this point in time. So this company is expecting me to buy a new car and then get body work done and then take another hit of that $6,000 to $10,000 from the value depreciation of no fault of mine. Bodywork automatically goes on Carfax record because Chrysler reports everything. Seriously? A local dealer service manager told me that Stellantis is a very customer-friendly company, and he does not understand why the customer service department would give me a solution like this. Forget about the service and the horror stories we've all read, but this one is particularly egregious. He was genuinely disappointed by the situation, so he went out of his way to tell me that he is going to work with their sales manager and district manager to see if there's something they could do for me to replace this car. This is no promise, as I did not buy the car from them, nor can they provide anything. They might not find another car like this. I am genuinely in need of help here. We're going to do whatever we can at Rip Roaring Garage and all the rippers. Let's make some noise. Let's get on Twitter. Spam this. Also, TK Garage, he's later down. He gets involved, and obviously he's probably going to have a lot more luck. Bug Butter the Great, Bug OC Motivator, because they got way bigger platforms. Get them to get Dodge to freaking listen, figure out a solution. It might not just be him. We don't know if the glue ran out and the robot just kept on going. The reports are that a lot of the employees, and I've praised them for their pride and all that. And that's probably just 5 guys working there. The reality is that nobody gave a rat's ass about these cars. They were going on strike. Dodge wanted to, kill this entire production line, so nobody cared. I'm genuinely in need of help here. Dodge has basically told me, well, we sold you junk and you have to live with it. It will cost you more money than what you paid for. That's your deal. This is what you get here, and go screw yourself. Very, very sad, because this is my 3rd Challenger and this is what I got. Can anyone help me, please? Help. Please. This car may have some serious body damage. It compromises its structural integrity. So you're going to get a lot of people, they're commenting on what they believe this thing needs, estimating costs and whatnot. Why do you think they want it to be bought back? What is their incentive? If it's bought back, the repairing dealer won't need to deal with you, bringing it up forever. It's a huge repair, and once they touch it, they own it. He's talking about the liability of the repair. I bet whatever could provide help, but not publicly. So clearly there's a lot of people that are afraid to come out forward because they might lose their jobs, and that's a huge tell when it comes to the corporate culture at New Dodge. I'm going to call them New Dodge because this is not the Dodge of old. Yeah, we had some reliability issues, but they were very good when it came to fixing cars, warranties and whatnot. People are telling him get a lawyer, and I hope he has done so. This is why I don't want a 2023 factories closing. Nobody cares, top to bottom. That's kind of what I was saying earlier. Hopefully there'll be others that come forward if they have this problem. I hope this is just a one case. I hope it's just one car and the guy get his car back, but chances are it's going to be multiple cars, and this may end up in a class action lawsuit. And I own a 2023 as well, Sublime 1320. So I'm worried, but mine was also a very early car. It was built in February 23rd. Contacted Steve Lato, and he referred me to 2 other attorneys. Good, very good. Steve Lato, he's a good attorney. He's in the car space. He's a Mopar gearhead. That was a very good step, but I'm still worried about the cars of other people as well. And I'm going to go over to the last update. So here we have the estimate for the repairs, total $29,429.87, which I can guarantee you it's going to be more than that. It'll never be the same. Like, you won't even know it because it's a brand new car, and this is what drives me nuts. So yesterday, Stellantis has denied my request of a replacement or a buyback. They have said it is repairable, which means they will cut the body parts out, take out the back windshield, basically rip out the entire back portion of the car to make it right. $30,000 repair. This will not be good for the car, and will likely, the job will not be clean, and it will have future issues. Yeah, it's never going to be the same. Last option now is to get legal route, see if there's anything there. If not, I'm basically forced to keep this lemon. Well, that's why I'm doing this video. It's not for the views. In fact, with all the Dodge advertising, Google AdSense and whatnot, it would be better for me, views wise, to do my Charger redesign. But this, no, we need to be loud about this. Bad news after bad news. My lemon lawyers at the Lemon Law attorneys told me that I have a legitimate claim, but they won't be able to help me because of the number of repair history. So in other words, there are none. It's just happened. They suggest I work with the litigation lawyer because I do have a legitimate claim. Can anyone get me some help? So he's in Texas. So let's help this guy out. Thanks for providing the encouragement. Very much so. Yeah, we're with you 100%. And I'm at a point with my channel where I don't care. I will make a video every freaking week, every day, as long as I have the energy. I will keep beating up on Dodge to get this case right. I'm turning into a freaking dog in a bone. I am not letting go. Even more of this Plum crazy. My advice would be to radio silence. No more talking. Hopefully he gets to see this, just to, you know, give him some hope. I'm not going to let this go, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be doing your thing. What can I say, man? This is heartbreaking because I know what these cars represent. They're not just a hunk of metal. These are that last chance to get your dream car. Health, age, they're never going to make these kinds of cars again. Let's get this video up and going. Watch TK's video as well. OC Motivator, Butter the Great. They got the, you know, inside private line to Tim Kuniskis. Get this guy a replacement car. Hopefully nobody comes back to me and says I have this problem as well. But if you do, email me privately. We're going to start compiling a list of everybody that has this kind of bonding problem with the body panels. If there is a class action lawsuit, this is how we start. First with documentation. So I'm Alex. This is Rip Roaring Garage, where oil is thicker than blood. Hemi alike, and I hope you have a rip roaring day. And Friday is every day on the assembly line. Welds, glues, and screws.